been trying really hard. Everything just burns. Like that bird outside. I was trying to go for a walk yesterday and I went right past its tree and it started going off its nut at me. And here I am out in the beautiful, nature, trying to just go for a walk. And I'm brought to my knees because a bird. So then I'll come back in and try and take a deep breath and there'll be a fly. Or, something will happen. I'll lose my lobe and have an accident. Or I've been charging around doing things in community a lot, and it's making me realize if I don't get real help, I can't just go and be out in community. But you have to go out in there to community to get the real help, and it's like I don't know how to cope with the physical pain. When you first have trauma go through your body and your whole nervous system, you feel it for sure. It changes you, it rewires you, it jolts you, and it shocks everything. But the somatic symptoms, I didn't even realize that sensory was something my whole life, because I only really felt it, I believe, around China. No, I was feeling it. I was noticing it because I was a light sleeper, but I wasn't noticing like the physical sensations from it. I was noticing it mentally, if that made sense. Like sound has always been something that bothers me, but it was something I was always able to cope with. Like I went to nightclubs, but looking back, it always affected me. Like I was always charged up. I was always unable to sleep. I was always, edgy and stuff like that. And now I know why. So it has always affected me. I just haven't always been aware. And now that I have that knowledge and I look back and I reflect on my nervous system's journey, I'm like, holy shit. I'm seeing people at earlier stages of the journey than my system. Because it doesn't matter what you go through, how old you are, what your system goes through is very different. And trauma's in stages, and the more it just builds without support, with all the wrong things going into your system instead of the right things. You need safety, calm, warm, nurturing, quiet, natural, but actually you're getting fast, loud, technology, medicine, pills, chemicals, fucking being spun around, and it's just, that's just trying to get help, but let alone you're living, you know what I mean? Like, gaslighting, rejection, can't get a fucking minute to calm your nervous system. Like, so, if you're living with people, it's safe to say that your nervous system is always on edge, because people don't realize what they consider quiet isn't the level of what our system needs to really be quiet when it's that heightened. So someone will be there shuffling in their chair or closing the microwave door, and we're trying to like do some deep breath to snap out of something and calm down, and we're just like all the things, or a motorbike will go zooming past. All those little things stop our system from feeling safe enough to relax, and it stays on edge because it's expecting something to happen. Which is why I've come out to the trees to be alone, so that I don't have humans just popping up. But I have had humans just popping up. And I got the birds and the flies and a dog who has a tongue. So it's like I can't escape sound ever, no matter what. And because I'm that heightened. So it's like, okay, how do you cope out there in all of that if a hair on your arm can bring you to your knees? How can you cope out there in all of that if a fly coming into the room can take your brain from everything you were just doing? And it's like people out there going, autism, ADHD. Just a 5-letter acronym for you, mate. CPTSD. It never used to be this way. When people get so heightened and they're not safe, those electrical surges are just constant. So, like I've said before in the videos about electricity and somatic symptoms and the nerves, we have electricity in our neural pathways, in our neurotransmitters, in our neurons, so like there's just live electricity through us everywhere. And when you have trauma, it's misfiring and the pathways aren't aligned and it's all out of whack. So when you get triggered, you have surges of electricity going off. So to be this heightened all the time and to be constantly triggered and re-traumatized and living the way that I have, like, this is about to be my 4th winter in this van. I haven't done anything to maintain it. It's been out in the storms. Things are starting to... And, I've been dealing with mice, not able to buy traps. Just, I can't keep doing this. Like, I'm still unable to shower properly. It's affecting my mental health. And the more it gets affected, the more I want to die, because I'm someone who doesn't want to live. I'm someone who has been done for so long, who needs a reason to want to get up and want to live and want to fight. And it's like living like this, you don't have them. And now that there are hands out, it's like I can't afford to grab a hand and it to be the wrong hand again. But I also can't afford to stay out here alone and not take a chance. And if I don't take a chance, I'm not going to be able to take care of myself and my pets. I'm not going to be able to advocate. I got an email from one of the peak body advocates in that group of leaders and stuff. I won't say the state or the person, and because they trusted me to share some of their own like views and stuff. And anyone who's been watching knows I will go to great lengths and care greatly, deeply, for anyone who tries, cares, does the right thing, is honest, because it's so rare for people like me. We don't get people who want to genuinely give us the time that we need. And when it happens, it means so much. And when you're treated so badly, so often, and ignored so much and someone cares, you want to make sure you're loyal to them. So, I don't trust myself to read it out without slipping up. So I'll tell you the gist, which is this person really cares and said they would sign a petition and pass it around. I've been wanting to make a petition for ages, but I can't. Even with chat, it's too hard. And but I'm starting to get connected in the community here. There's mental health advocates here. I just need to be able to, and that's what I'm working on. So as fucked up as I am, please don't give up. You know, there are people watching for different reasons, and I have noticed that while it's been stagnant, subscribers are dropping off. But if you're just watching it for the scandal, you're not watching it for the right reasons, because that scandal is so much trauma, and it's providing an example, and it inspired the channel, but it's not what the channel's about. And I was reminded by someone in the community and by someone on the channel not to stoop to the level, but because I can't help my reactions and my rage when it happens, it's like find a new way to direct it so that I can be the better person. Because I already struggle with shame and where I come from and what I am. And it's already humiliating to have these outbursts, and this channel's been about being raw. And I made a point of saying everything that happens to me, I'll be louder. And it got to a point and a level where it got dangerous. And it's like, okay, I'm going to tap out from the danger, but not the battle. I've got to find a new direction. I can't deal with the court. I can't deal with what's being done and what's happening. And I also can't let it just take over the channel. It's affecting the cause. If people don't want to watch unless there's a scandal, like, that's pretty fucked up in itself. So they're not the right type of viewers. It needs real reboot. So I'm still having my rage and my dysregulation and my self-harm, but I haven't been putting it on here because I don't want people doing welfare checks. I don't want people using my sickness against me in the legal battle. I don't want things twisted out of context. And I don't want my rage to take over and consume me. And I don't want it to eat away at my moral compass and change who I am, because I've already lost so much of who I am through all of this. And I want to say thank you for the reminder. So I'm focusing on my burning. I'm focusing on my pets. I'm focusing on trying to relocate, and I've been packing up even though I haven't got a new place to go to, so that it's not rushed. I've been dealing with the fucking mice, but unable to afford mice traps, but then I got 2, so then I'm like, just 2 at a time, and one of them had its whole face ripped off, and it's just like, I'm really fucked. But I love my pets and I care so much, and it's like, if I can do this, I will. So I'm gonna actually get help making a petition, and I'm gonna get that person to help me pass it around, and then I'm gonna get chat to help me make an email to all the politicians who have reached out to me in the past to get people to pass it around, and I'm gonna put the petition on the channel and try and get that circulating. And try and figure out how to stop burning. I'm burning right now. Trauma happens in stages and it builds on the system. And while we always have a heightened system and we always have somatic symptoms and we always have edgy and jumpy, because even when we don't realize it, sensory affects us. I didn't realize it when I was younger. Looking back, it all adds up. The light sleeping, the jumpiness, the just how much everything was grating on me and how charged up I was all the time out in it all. And how things would take my focus and make it hard, and flare up somatic symptoms. But because it went so long being untreated and mistreated and exacerbated and re-traumatized, all those electrical surges that have been going on over years have turned into nerve damage and burning. And it started off that triggers would burn me, but now I'm just living in a trigger. I'm living in trauma, and I'm just permanently burning. And that's the destiny. That's the result, the outcome for everyone who's on the same journey as me. And I can't. So every time I feel like I just want to end my life, I'm like, okay, that's a coward's way out. Your pets need you, people need you, and your life will be a waste. You will have gone through all this for nothing. So I'm just trying to figure out how to get through this mess. And over the next few weeks, it's also really hard, what I'm allowed and able to say, because I said I would breach and not hold back while I had no voice and no one was listening to me. But now that I have a voice and I'm getting help, I need to do my bit and figure out how to direct that reaction and that rage and not be directly involved with all that psychological stuff. So I'm in a really dark space. I've been reliving a lot of things, and people don't understand how someone not related to that incident can do that, but that's what trauma is. All the stuff with Daylesford made me relive a lot of stuff when I was 17, back with the police, the Daylesford police, and how it all went down. And just, I have been going back to 17 and childhood over and over again for a few years now, and more that goes on, the more it just kicks it in, and the more you don't get help, and the more you get gaslit, and the more that certain behaviors and things happen, the more you're just reliving it. And so trying to not get sucked in whilst dealing with all the flare-ups, whilst trying to take care of my babies, relocate. And to do all that, I need services and help and community. So, and I'm determined, if I can get help and services somehow, I want to show you how you can too. So, I guess I don't really care that I've lost a couple of subscribers because the channel's stagnant, because they're not in it for the right reasons. Anyone who cares about trauma or has trauma knows it's a journey. And this stagnant moment is for safety. It's avoidance. It's recouping and self-loving, putting the mask on first. It's re-strategizing with the channel, because when you take the voice from me, you take it from anyone who's got trauma who I'm fighting for. So that also means I have to be careful how I fight my battles, because it won't just affect me. And I don't have control over a lot of things, which makes it hard. So I can't be on here losing control. I need to, you know what I mean? I'm trying to, it's really hard to be the best person you can be when you're just burning and everyone's just like, meh. So I'm trying to step back and recalibrate myself and the channel and the project so that we can get real help and be taken seriously and get the right subscribers on here. So I just wanted to update where I'm at. As you can see, and have probably gathered, I'm a fucking mess, but I'm a mess that keeps getting back up. I'll keep getting back up. It's just, timing's everything.